Good morning, everyone, and welcome into Wake and Take. It's your boy Jason, and we've got some football to talk about today. Today, we're going to be doing some mock drafting. I'm looking over at Chad Reuter's NFL mock draft on NFL.com. It is a full 7-rounder. We're probably only going to look at 3, maybe 4 rounds, depending on how we're doing on time. But just kind of want to get some insight on some of the top prospects for our fantasy football teams based on Chad Reuter's insight. And then based on that, also, we're going to run one more 1-round Wake and Take mock draft live here on the show. So it's going to be a fun one. We're talking rookies. We're talking draft. The week is here. The NFL draft is here. It is this week. It is coming. So it's very, very exciting stuff. So for today's show, go ahead, take out your coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. All right, welcome in, everyone. Good morning to you, T-Bone. Good morning to you on Instagram. If you're listening on the podcast network, on Twitter, wherever you are tuning in, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and talk some football. Good morning to you, Harry Snowman. And oh my gosh, all the mornings are pulling in. Good morning to you, Ryan, as well. Good morning, all. This is great, great stuff. Let's go ahead and talk the NFL draft. As mentioned before, we are going to start today's show by looking through Chad Reuter's mock draft on NFL.com. Full 7 rounds, really, really great stuff. Dude's been covering the NFL draft for 20 years now. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. I mean, at least compared to a lot of other people in this space. I'm excited to see what he knows or, doesn't know. But either way, let's go ahead and look into it. I'll share my screen for both of these things today, but definitely, both of these things today. So here it is, the Chad Reuter mock on NFL.com. Let me make sure we look good over here. Cool. So I'll scroll down. And as usual, of course, all of these mock drafts, it's going to start with Caleb Williams going to the Chicago Bears. No surprise there. I'm very excited to see, just in general, just kind of what happens in our space when Caleb Williams is pick number 1. Are we gonna have a bunch of hot takes out there immediately, or we gonna have videos talking about what this means? I don't know. I just feel like we all already kind of know what's gonna happen with Caleb Williams. I feel like the content's already out there, but I'm just curious to see what all pours in when it actually happens. But we all know the draft really starts at pick number 2, and that's in this one. Chad Reuter has Jaden Daniels going to the Commanders. Something to me still thinks that it's gonna be Drake May, but a lot of these mocks have Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is the betting favorite right now as well, so I think it makes sense that that's where it's going to go. But again, I don't know. Something to me just makes me feel like it's going to be Drake May to the Commanders. I think that that's the type of quarterback that Cliff Kingsbury likes to work with. Historically, it's kind of the quarterback that Dan Quinn has worked with in Atlanta. So I don't know. I that's kind of where I'm at, but still, Chad Reuter knows what he's talking about. A lot of these mocks know what they're talking about, and a lot of them have Jaden Daniels going number 2 to the Commanders, and Drake May, or sometimes JJ McCarthy in a lot of these, going to the Patriots. But in this one, Chad Reuter has May going to the Patriots. And I mean, oh God, wouldn't that just be awful? I mean, we all kind of like Drake May, right? I don't think any of us here are comfortable enough saying that Drake May is going to bust. I think a lot of us know that he is a project quarterback with a high ceiling and all that kind of stuff. But I think if he lands on the Patriots, all of us, and I mean all of us, are probably going to call him a bust and be scared to draft him in our super flex drafts. Really, any quarterback that goes to the Patriots is going to have a very hard time to succeed if they take a quarterback at pick number 3, but especially a quarterback like Drake May, where I don't know what they would do. I don't know. I mean, are we really having Drake May throw the ball to Demario Douglas and Tyquan Thornton? With no offensive line? I just have no clue. So I really do hate this landing spot for any rookie quarterback, but especially one like Drake May, who's going to need some work already and definitely would benefit from having at least one weapon. So either way, Drake May to the Patriots from Chad Reuter. And then he has the first trade of his mock draft with the Giants moving up 2 spots with the Arizona Cardinals to take JJ McCarthy. And you guys know my take here is that JJ McCarthy is probably not a top 5 pick. I do think he'll probably end up going top 10, but I think a lot of this is smoke. But we'll find out, right? And I do think that when I saw this, and I haven't looked through all of this, I kind of just skimmed through, but I did look at the first few picks. JJ McCarthy going to the Giants, I don't hate as much as I thought I would. It kind of makes sense a little bit. I feel like JJ McCarthy is a little bit better. Daniel Jones, he's slightly more mobile, a little bit more accurate, but still has, a few concerns in his game. I do think that Brian Daboll would work well with JJ McCarthy. And I think that they would really just kind of have to figure out their offensive line a little bit. But I do think that the Giants' landing spot would be better than the Patriots' landing spot for a rookie quarterback. However, I am still kind of the belief that the Giants should give Daniel Jones one more shot because of that contract. I think you build the team around Daniel Jones. There's going to be a top-end wide receiver available at their pick or a top-end offensive lineman. I think either one of those picks is the better process move for the Giants. And then that way, if Daniel Jones does fail, like they probably expect him to, then they will next year have another high draft pick, but then also kind of have a nice team built around the quarterback spot. And I think that would be a little bit better. But, sometimes when the quarterback that you want is staring you in the face, you can't really pass that opportunity up. And so the Giants move up 2 spots to get JJ McCarthy. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't like that for the Cardinals. We keep seeing the Cardinals trading back in these mocks. And I don't see why they would do it. Right? Like they need a wide receiver, and one of the best wide receivers we've seen in a long time is staring them in the face, and they would trade back. I don't know. I really don't know. But it's possible that they are also interested in some of the other wide receivers and not just like Marvin Harrison Jr. Like they're fine with any of them, and that's why they'd be comfortable trading back. So anyway, that's what they did here, which leads the Chargers to stay put and take Marvin Harrison Jr., which the more I see it, the more I like it. Obviously Jim Harbaugh, the Michigan coach, getting an Ohio State wide receiver like Marvin Harrison Jr. Makes sense, right? Like he's been, coaching against him for a long time now. Marvin Harrison Jr., especially last year, was the only wide receiver to go for over 100 receiving yards against the Michigan Wolverines last year. So obviously an amazing, amazing player. And also a wide receiver that fits perfectly in what Jim Harbaugh wants to do with his wide receivers. Like we know he's kind of a game manager type guy. Just wants a route runner, wants a reliable wide receiver. Doesn't need anyone to necessarily take the top off or anything like that. And Marvin Harrison Jr. is perfect for that role, really. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. is basically a younger and better Keenan Allen at this point. And so I love the landing spot for the Chargers for Marvin Harrison Jr. That would be wheels up for Justin Herbert. I saw today, guys, if you follow me on Twitter, I woke up this morning and opened up Underdog and saw that the little board or whatever it is right now, the $3 is at 99% filled. And I was like, screw it. I'm going to do another best ball draft this morning while I'm looking through what to do this morning for Wake and Take. And Justin Herbert right now in best ball is like QB 16. Like he was drafted after Jared Goff. And Trevor Lawrence is actually right behind him. Like both of those guys for redraft in particular have taken a huge hit. So I do just want to take this time. I know this is a rookie episode, but draft Justin Herbert in best ball right now. I think that that's an incredible value, especially once the Chargers draft a wide receiver, which if they trade back out of 5, they'll just draft a wide receiver later. But there's no way the Chargers go into next year's NFL season without at least one more wide receiver added to that roster. I know Quentin Johnston scored a touchdown against Jim Harbaugh in the college football playoffs 2 seasons ago. Jim Harbaugh wants a wide receiver more than just Quentin Johnston. Josh Palmer's not enough. They definitely need some more help. And I love Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Chargers. Love it a lot. And then so actually with pick number 6, where the Giants traded it to the Cardinals. So the Cardinals now on the clock with pick 6 in this Chad Reuter mock. They take Rome Odunze, which I don't hate. As we know, especially from Matt Harmon's reception perception, he is one of the better route runners in this class, if not the best route runner in this class. One of the only ones to chart green in every single route, a complete route tree. And that kind of makes sense for the Arizona Cardinals as well. I think if the Arizona Cardinals are on the clock here at pick number 6, they would probably go Malik Neighbors. I feel like the explosive wide receiver fits this team a little bit more than a Rome Odunze. But this is also the same organization that had Larry Fitzgerald for years. And that's actually who my guy, Madden Kiwoom, compares Rome Odunze to, Larry Fitzgerald. And so I like the landing spot a lot. It's a wide receiver that has seen success on the Cardinals before Larry Fitzgerald. So getting the spiritual successor in Rome Odunze is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. But I think Malik Neighbors fits the Cardinals just a little bit better. Just, the explosiveness, it just feels like that's a match made in heaven with Kyler Murray. right? I just feel like Kyler Murray chucking deep passes to Malik Neighbors. That just sounds exciting. But Rome Odunze, of course, is exciting as well. Don't hate that pick. And then we'll kind of breeze through here, go through the interesting ones. Of course, Titans, Joe Alt. Falcons going corner. This is the first time I've actually seen this at pick 8, going corner Quinyon Mitchell instead of a edge rusher that kind of everyone has been mocking to the Falcons. And I don't hate this. They've kind of had an issue here with AJ Terrell. They've been talking about trading him for a while now, and he kind of has lost a step. In this, Chad Reuter is like, Raheem Morris knows defensive backs. A former safety and coached secondaries for a really long time. And Quinyon Mitchell, as we've talked about before, is looking like the best corner in this draft. So yeah, I like the pick. I think they'll go edge, but I don't hate them going corner. I mean, they're kind of going to need it. So anyway, that's their pick for the Falcons. And then we have the next trade of this one, and it is the Colts taking Brock Bowers, trading with the Bears at pick number 9. And this is a trade that I'm terrified of. I do think that the Bears are a prime trade back spot here at 9. I think the Falcons are too. I think both of those teams are probably going to be looking to trade back. I don't think the Bears are going to pick at pick 9. I really don't. I would be very, very shocked to see that happen. And I like this trade in particular a lot. The Colts moving up to get Brock Bowers. As you guys know, it bothers me, right? I really like Jelani Woods, so I don't really want them to get Brock Bowers. But I think it makes a ton of sense. We've seen tight end success on the Colts now 2 years in a row. Last year in particular was really, really special with basically no tight ends. I mean, they had 4 tight ends, 5 tight ends sometimes, but no like true guy. And I think Brock Bowers would fit admirably in that role and would just work perfectly with Anthony Richardson. So I love Brock Bowers to the Colts. I really, really do. Oh, what happened to my camera? My camera turned off. Cool. I'll just keep talking and no camera, I guess. So basically, now we will have pick number 10, the New York Jets. J.C. Latham, offensive tackle, makes sense, especially if they do get sniped on Brock Bowers. There are 3 teams that are in the Brock Bowers sweepstakes right now, and that is the Indianapolis Colts, the New York Jets, and the Cincinnati Bengals are kind of the 3 teams that I think he'll probably end up with. I like the Colts the most. Well, I like the Bengals the most. I'm just not sure if they're actually going to make that splash move. So I kind of like the Colts in between making a trade up. Anyway, pick number 11 is very, very interesting. It is the Minnesota Vikings' first pick of the NFL draft. And as we've talked about in my mocks and also last week with Peter Schrager's mock, Bo Nix going to the Vikings at pick 23. But in Chad Reuter's mock, he has Bo Nix going to the Vikings at pick 11. And as you guys know, I do really like Bo Nix to the Vikings. That is a landing spot I thought of a few weeks ago for the Player Profiler article, predicting where QBs will be drafted. And I picked Bo Nix to the Vikings. This was a few weeks ago. I mean, this was before Schrager's mock. This was when Bo Nix was like projected to be a 3rd-round pick. And I was like, no, I flag planted 1st-round pick Bo Nix to the Minnesota Vikings. And now he's steamed all the way up to pick 11 in this mock. So I think that's very interesting. I do not think they will take Bo Nix with pick 11. I still think it'll be pick number 23. But I do think that the Vikings stay put, and I think they make a nice pick here at 11. I don't think it'll be Bo Nix. I think they'll go defense here. But either way, I love that. This is now 2 mocks within the last week. Peter Schrager, Chad Reuter, and you can say 3 within the last few weeks if you want to include this guy's with Bo Nix going to the Vikings. I think that's very interesting. I'm just saying. I think it's interesting that a few people are starting to do that. Anyway, now Broncos at pick 12, they are, I guess, going to be rolling with Jared Stidham as they pick Dallas Turner. The Raiders at pick 13 get themselves some Malik Neighbors, which does make sense. I mean, they need another wide receiver, and they could, go Michael Penix, but in this mock, Chad Reuter says no, they're going to get Malik Neighbors. And if he's available at pick 13, I do not blame them. I think that would be really special. In fact, I would be surprised if Malik Neighbors is available that the Broncos don't take him at pick 12, given their circumstances right now. But either way, I guess Malik Neighbors on the Raiders would be very good. I like it a lot. Devontae Adams is only getting older. And I think also on the last year of his contract anyway. So either way, Malik Neighbors to the Raiders, kind of cool, especially if they can figure out quarterback beyond Gardner Minshew. I do like Minshew, but I think they want to figure out their future a little bit more. Saints at pick 14 go Fuaga. Bears at 15 go Byron Murphy, DT. That's after trading back with the Colts. The Eagles actually trade up with the Seahawks. I do think that the Seahawks are a great trade back candidate. They do it a lot. I think they'll probably do it to get Michael Penix a little later. But either way, Jared Verse to the Eagles at pick 16 with them trading up. Jaguars at pick 17 stay put and get Terrion Arnold, the corner. I think the Jaguars are an interesting team to watch at 17 to see if they go wide receiver. And that would be just good old Brian Thomas Jr. if they did. But it doesn't seem like they will in this mock. And in fact, Brian Thomas Jr. will go to the Bengals, probably a T. Higgins replacement, which I think could be very, very interesting. And then at pick number 19, the Chiefs trade up with the Los Angeles Rams to get their Tyreek Hill replacement, Xavier Worthy. And I love this move. I actually love this move. I just traded for Hollywood Brown, so I would hate this move. But I like it for fantasy football. Personally, I would hate it because I like Hollywood. But Xavier Worthy going to the Chiefs is just a match made in heaven. I mean, that would be spectacular. And I don't hate it at all. I love the idea of the Chiefs trading up to try to get a wide receiver. Adam Schefter came out today and says he expects a multiple game suspension for Rashee Rice, which is never what you want to hear. Because he said at least a multiple game suspension. So, that's not good when Schefter says that. But either way, Chiefs making a move to get a Xavier Worthy at pick 19. I think that's incredible stuff. Which leaves the Steelers to get Fontenot at pick 20. The Dolphins to get Fashanu. The Seahawks to get Graham Barton, the center. The Vikings stay at pick 23 and get Latu Latu. So I think it would be swapped. I think they would maybe get Latu at 11 and then Bo Nix at 23. Cowboys at pick 24 can go Junior Colson. The 49ers at pick 25 will go Kool-Aid McKinstry. The Buccaneers at pick 26 go Chop Robinson. The Cardinals at 27 get Cooper DeJean. Buffalo Bills get edge rusher Marshawn Kneeland. The Detroit Lions get edge rusher Darius Robinson. The Baltimore Ravens go O-line, get some Tyler Guyton. The Packers go O-line and get Roger Rosengarten. And then the Rams go corner and get themselves some Nate Wiggins, who is kind of varied. He's really been all over the place. So real quick, let's go through round 2, and then we'll probably move on to the Wake and Take mock. But I'm curious just to see some interesting spots from round 2 from Chad Reuter's mock. Michael Penix to the Raiders at pick 33. Looks like they would trade with the Panthers after drafting Malik Neighbors in this mock. They go get Michael Penix later at the beginning of the second round. I think that is very, very cool. Although, again, I still think Michael Penix goes in the first round. And actually, we'll talk about it now. The Vegas odds have changed around Michael Penix and Bo Nix. Michael Penix is favorited to be a first-round pick at minus 180 odds. And Bo Nix is very, very close at plus 125. So I really do think both of those guys are going to end up going in the first round. But either way, Raiders get Michael Penix and Malik Neighbors in this mock. Chad Reuter might be a Raiders fan because that would be pretty special for them. Anyway, let's keep scrolling a bit. See if I'll just go offense only. So it looks like the Chargers at pick 37 are going to make the first running back move. Chad Reuter, despite the Chargers signing J.K. Dobbins, still thinks that they will draft Blake Corum early in the second round. I would be surprised if they go that early for Blake Corum. But, I mean, Jim Harbaugh likes his guys. If they think they need a running back like Corum, then yeah, that's special. Obviously, you already worked with him, and Blake Corum I do love as a prospect. I think he'll do well in the NFL. So I don't hate the pick. I just don't think they would do it that early. Pick 32, Chad Reuter has Ladd McConkey going to the Titans. And I do like this. I don't think Ladd McConkey is going to end up being a first-round pick. I've talked about this before. I think he has an outside shot to do it, but I don't think that he will. I do like early second, and I actually like the Titans landing spot for him. You know, we saw Kyle Phillips do really, really well that one game his rookie season. So obviously there's room for a slot receiver in the Titans offense. So Ladd McConkey going there is pretty cool. Panthers getting Jalen Polk after trading with the Raiders. If the Panthers get Jalen Polk as their wide receiver, I mean, Deontay Johnson, Jalen Polk, Pip is singing. Jalen Polk, Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen, like that would just not be a great wide receiver room. I'd like to see them make a little bit more of a splash if I'm the Carolina Panthers. In fact, that has just given me an idea. for something fun in my mock draft. Okay, now going through round 2 some more. Devontae Walker to the Saints makes sense. Adonai Mitchell slipping a lot, going to the Bears at 46. That would be pretty cool if they could get him. And Roman Wilson to the Bills. That's very cool because we do have Stephon Diggs as Roman Wilson's best comparable. So I think that would be very, very cool. I think that getting Roman Wilson on the Buffalo Bills would be nice, and I think he would do well. Ravens getting Jalen Wright. I think getting a running back does make sense. I know that they did, of course, get Derrick Henry, but of course he is up there in age. So I do think getting like Jalen Wright could be cool. I think that would be a nice little 1-2 punch. Ricky Pearsall to the 49ers would suck for Ricky Pearsall's fantasy points. You would not want to draft him. You would never feel comfortable starting him unless they moved on from Brandon Ayuk. Then you could be that's pretty cool. But Ricky Pearsall's a name I'm definitely going to be monitoring. And I guess, let's screw it. We're already here. Just real quick, we'll go through the offense in round 3 as well. Ben Sinnott to the Panthers. That makes sense. They could use the tight end, and I do like Sinnott a lot. So I would be drafting Ben Sinnott as the tight end on the Panthers for sure. Xavier Legette to the Commanders makes some sense. Troy Franklin to the Giants I actually do like, and Troy Franklin in the 3rd round is probably a good value. Cardinals getting Trey Benson. So I actually do love this. You guys know I am a James Conner guy, so it would suck for that regard. But Trey Benson as the running back of the Cardinals would be great for future. I would draft a hell of a lot of Trey Benson, Arizona Cardinals. Atlanta Falcons getting Malachi Corley. That would be cool. I like that. I think that they could creatively use him. Broncos getting Rattler. That's disgusting. Cade Stover going to the Commanders. I guess that's fine. They did get Zach Ertz. They could use another tight end since he's older and injury history. Indianapolis Colts getting some Johnny Wilson along with Brock Bowers earlier. So they really want some red zone threats in this mock. Keon Coleman to the Steelers. Theo Johnson to the Texans. That could be cool. Them just getting a little bit of an athletic tight end to go alongside Dalton Schultz. The Buccaneers getting Marshawn Lloyd. That's a death sentence for Rachaad White. Marshawn Lloyd going to the Buccaneers is a death sentence for Rachaad White. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Will Shipley to the Chiefs. I love Will Shipley, of course, would basically be Jerick McKinnon plus. That would hurt Isaiah Pacheco a little bit, but I think that it would help the offense as a whole. So I don't think it would be that bad at the end of the day. And that is it for rounds 1 through 3 on the Chad Reuter NFL mock. I thought that was very cool. Some fun landing spots for sure. Some interesting lessons to be learned as we do a quick 1-round mock here on Wake and Take as well. But before we get into that, I just want to play a quick little word about our rookie guide.
It is NFL draft season and the wait is over. The Player Profiler Rookie Guide is available. It's live on the site now. Right there in the nav bar, click on the 2024 Rookie Guide to download it. It's so comprehensive. We're ranking and writing up more players than anybody. And this year, we're providing athleticism scores. We're doubling the number of advanced stats on each player profile. And guess who's back? Cody Carpentier. But it's not just him. It's Theo. It's Matty Kiwoom. It's John Lobb. And the Undroppables. All coming together to provide their composite rankings. And this year we're adding Superflex Tight End Premium because that's now become such a popular format. So get those composite ranks, get the write-ups, the comps, the stats and metrics you want. If you already have Dynasty Lux, you already have it. But if you don't, it's right there in the nav bar on playerprofiler.com. It's $20. It's not the first. It's not the most expensive, but it is the best.
Get that rookie guide. And if you don't want to get the rookie guide, you can get the all-in package right now with promo code Jason for $20 off the all-in package. Get all of the tools that you need to dominate the Dynasty leagues. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the Wake and Take mock draft. I think 4.0. I think we're getting up there. So let me go ahead and share my screen for this one as well. And like usual, we're going to be using Pro Football Network. Sorry, PFF, but you cost money. Pro Football Network does not, so let's go PFN. I see a question here before we get into it. Actually, T-Bone asks, what kind of bird is Pippi? Pip is a cockatiel. He is just a regular old gray cockatiel. He's a beautiful little guy. I love him very much. Yeah. And congratulations about your double-fronted Amazon parrot. Love myself some birds. They're great. They're fantastic. Anyway, mock draft. We are going to do all 32 teams. We're just going to do one round, so the speed doesn't really matter. So we'll go ahead and start here. And, of course, Caleb Williams to the Bears. And, again, I just think the Commanders are getting Drake May. That just makes the most sense to me, so I'm going to do it. Jaden Daniels to the Patriots. I know in my last mock I had them trading back, but I think as we look through this more and more, I think the Patriots are, unfortunately, I really don't think it's the right move for this franchise, but it is what it is. Getting Jaden Daniels at pick number 3, I think that would go better for them than Drake May or JJ McCarthy. I think that Jaden Daniels has just a bit more oomph in him to where he could kind of put the team on his back a little bit. A la Justin Fields with Chicago. Even if the record didn't turn out, he was still running wild. So I think that could kind of be what we see in New England with Jaden Daniels. So this is where it gets interesting, of course, here with the Arizona Cardinals. And you know what? I'm going to see they pick Malik Neighbors. Like I said, I think that they stay put. I really don't understand trading. And like I said when we were going through Chad Reuters, I feel like Malik Neighbors is a very fun wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals, and I think they will be attracted to that athleticism. And I think that could be a draft day shocker. And I just like Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Chargers. I like it a lot. I think it makes a certain amount of sense. I really, really do, knowing everything that kind of went on. I think I think that they stay put and take wide receiver if I'm the Chargers, but I do understand the scenario for trading back. Of course, I really, really do. So I'm not, I'm not like saying that they won't, but in this case, we're going to do minimal trades. I think that a lot of teams, there's some nice top 5 talent here. It's awesome. It's really, really awesome. Really, really great draft. Anyway, the Giants are on the clock. And like I said, guys, I really think that they should probably stay put. Actually, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to restart it real quick. Just real quick. We're not going to have them stay put. We are going to have them trade back, actually. Oh, crap. Oh, no, it won't let me. Whoa. Oh, I messed up. That's why I have to actually check all teams. Okay. All teams. Starting over. But we'll be very quick. So, again, Caleb Williams to the Bears. Drake May to the Cardinals. Jaden Daniels to the Patriots. Neighbors to the Cardinals. Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Chargers. And then, yes, we will have the Giants trading back with the Denver Broncos. We're going to have the Giants trade back with the Denver Broncos from this pick number 6. They're going to get next year's first, as well as this year's first, as well as their 3rd round pick, it looks like. Let's see. Does that go through? Cool. The Broncos now on the clock are going to take themselves some J.J. McCarthy here at pick number 6. They're very, very stoked. So, yeah. Boo, 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 boo. Whoa. Hold on, Harry Snowman. I see a comment here. This is, do not lump me in. Do not lump me in. I am the Marvin Harrison truther of Player Profiler. He is easily my wide receiver 1. It is not very close to me. If I'm an NFL organization, I would pick Marvin Harrison Jr. with the 101 over Caleb Williams. That's how much I believe in him. I'm just doing a fun little mock draft, and I think it could be silly if the Cardinals pick Malik Neighbors. I think that fits their team a little bit better. And Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Chargers just sounds awesome to me. So I just wanted to make that happen. I just wanted to spice up the mock draft. Don't worry. I'm a Marvin guy. Don't worry. Titans at pick number 7, Joe Walt. And now the Falcons on the clock here at pick number 8. I kind of liked them going corner, but again, I still think they're going to go edge. I think this is definitely trade back potential, but I don't know if they'll get an offer that they're actually comfortable with unless it is from the Jets. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do the Jets trading up, not giving up a ton. We'll just throw them like, 111 is rejected. Okay, so we got to figure this out. That's the only thing, is figuring out how to do the trades on the Pro Football Network. They veto these guys a lot. Let's try 10 and 72. Rejected again. All right, man. The Falcons really want, or maybe the Jets just don't want to do it. I don't know. I wish it needs to just let you force a trade. Good Lord. Okay, or at least tell you why it was rejected. Because I think that would be very, very helpful. Let's just say a 20-25 second. Okay. Why does it not? Like, why can't it just say, yeah, we the Falcons are giving up too much. The Jets are giving up too much. Or whatever. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Okay. Atlanta with the Jets. Pick number 10 for 8. I would imagine they don't have to give too much, but apparently 72 and 111. 111 alone is too much. 134, it didn't work. Adding a 2025 second didn't work. Let's try 185. Whatever. This is ridiculous. Just tell me what's wrong. 10 for 8. Okay. Wow. Did you see that? Did you see that? The Jets just get to trade up for nothing. That's how. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. Jets trading up from 10 to 8 to get Brock Bowers. I like it. I think that's fun. And now the Bears, of course, they've already gotten Caleb Williams. They will now be gifted the youngest and top edge rusher in this year's draft class at pick number 9. I don't think that they will go wide receiver. I just don't. Because they got Keenan Allen, they got DJ Moore, they have a defensive coordinator for a head coach. I think that they would want to just kind of roll with it. But Rome Odunze is definitely a good pick who is available there at number 9. I just think that they would go edge rusher. And I still think that the Falcons are probably going to go edge rusher as well. And they'll go with Leia Tulatu. Bringing in the Los Angeles coaching staff. They are, of course, friends with all of those UCLA people, I'm sure. So anyway, now the Vikings are on the clock, and they can get, I'm going to have them go number 1 corner in the draft, Quinyon Mitchell. And now the Giants are so excited because they traded back from 6 where they would have taken Rome Odunze, but they actually get him at pick 12 in this one. And I think that that's incredible. So anyway, Rome Odunze to the Giants at pick 12 after trading back. The Raiders now on the clock at pick number 13. And they're just going to go O-line. They're not really going to overthink it too much. They're just going to get themselves some Fashanu. The Saints also are probably just going to get some O-line. They'll go, I'll give them Fatanu. And now the Colts at pick 15. Think that this is another one of those spots where they could go any which way, but they need another wide receiver. They just do. So I'm going to have them take Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas Jr. is probably going to be someone that is essentially what they wished Alec Pierce turned into, kind of profiles very similarly, but, Brian Thomas Jr. just a bit more polished. So I like that a lot. Now the Vikings sitting here, there's a lot of stuff on the board. And I think they will trade back, but I'm not necessarily sure with who. So for the purpose of this mock, in general, I'm just going to, let's see, who needs a corner? Who could really use a corner or maybe an edge rusher here? This is a tough one. I'm just gonna do it. I think the Seahawks want Michael Penix, and I think that they could trade back to accomplish that. But at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. The Jaguars sitting here at pick number 17. And they also could go really any which way, but with Terrion Arnold staring them in the face, they will just go corner. The Bengals at pick 18. This is an interesting one. I could see them trading back too, but again, it's very tough. I don't know. Let's do this. Let's say the Bengals trade back with the Vikings. Let's do this. Yeah, I think this will be cool. Where's Minnesota? There it is. Trade back with the Vikings. They move up from 23 to 18 and give up 108 in the process. They probably have to give up a little bit more than that. Hold on. Bengals, Vikings, 18 for 23. And then let's say 108, 129 maybe. We're going through it again, guys. We can't get the trade to go through. 18 for 23. And we'll do all of these picks maybe. Can I do that? Good Lord. Again, why can't it just tell me what the problem is? We'll try again. All right. Again, it just works if I swap the first round pick. So maybe I'm just going to do that again. The Vikings trading up to pick 18 with the Cincinnati Bengals to draft Bo Nix. Again, I think that's a quarterback they like there. Anyway, Rams at number 19. They have just lost Aaron Donald. They just did. So they're looking at really anyone to pass rush, and they will get Jared Verse. Now, they could go DT, of course, as Aaron Donald is. That's what he was. But I think Jared Verse, just a little bit better of a prospect in general, so they'll go with him. And then the Steelers, Mike Tomlin loves UGA players. I would be shocked if Amarius Mims does not go to the Steelers. I think that one, we can almost Sharpie in. The Dolphins now sitting on the clock. I don't know what they would do here. I guess they would probably just go O-line, and they can get Fuaga out of Oregon State. I think that they would be I think that they would be fine with that. And then the Eagles need a few things. They could use a center, of course. They could use a defensive tackle. They could use an offensive tackle. They could use a corner. I mean, they really could go anywhere with this pick. But I think they'll trade back. I could see the Eagles trading back here. They're a very, very savvy team. And who would want to move up right here? Maybe, man, who would want to move up here? I've got it. The Eagles will be trading with the Carolina Panthers as the Panthers move up from 33 and give, let's say, 33 and 65 again. All right, you know what? We're gonna see if it'll just work where I just have to press Philadelphia with Carolina. 33 for 22. Will that just work? Okay. And they will actually pick a wide receiver. And the wide receiver's name is Xavier Worthy. Panthers get in a speedy guy. They have no speed on that team. They're going to get Xavier Worthy. And then the Bengals now back on the clock. They need a DT to replace DJ Reuter. And they are happy to get Byron Murphy the second. The Cowboys now on the clock. They could use a wide receiver as well. And I think they'll stick with Texas. I think they'll get Adonai Mitchell with pick 24. I think that he could kind of blend really, really well with CD Lamb. And then the Packers on the clock. There's so many different ways that they could go here. Who's like the best? I think I'm going to give them corner. Just feels very Packers of them to get a corner. Nate Wiggins just feels right. And then the Buccaneers on the clock. We'll give them Chop Robinson, get some edge rushing help. The Cardinals already got wide receiver earlier, so they are good in that regard. It looks like DT's a need, so I'm just going to go ahead and give them Johnny Newton. And then the Bills on the clock. A lot of wide receivers have gone, so they might not feel very, very great about this situation right now. But you know, they don't. It's not the end of the world. I think they're doing okay, and so I think that they will go safety. They've kind of historically had a good safety on that team, so they'll go with Cooper DeJean. And then the Lions on the clock. They could just go best player available, which seems to be what they do a lot. And that would probably be, when I look at this, Kool-Aid McKinstry. I think that fits that team really well. They could use a corner, and I think Kool-Aid McKinstry is just awesome. In fact, I can't remember who it was, but one of the wide receivers in this process went against Alabama and said that Kool-Aid was better than Terrion Arnold when he kind of matched up against them. So we'll see how that plays out. Anyway, Ravens on the clock. Yeesh. This is not a great spot for them. I can see this could be another one of those trading back opportunities when I look at this. Who still needs offensive line, right? Like everyone really. Let's do this. Let's do New York Giants. Trade up with the Ravens. They'll give 47 and 70 for 30. Again, we're just gonna try this again. The 47 for 30, just see if that works. Trades with the New York Giants, 30, 47. It's accepted. That's so funny. All right, and now the Giants on the clock. They could go O-line. They're super happy. They're gonna get J.C. Latham at pick 30. And then the 49ers also need a lot of different things. They really do. But they'll just get Tyler Guyton, stick with that offensive line help, and be happy with it. And also kind of snipe the Chiefs a little bit. And we're going to have the Eagles trade back up, actually, with the Chiefs. Not giving up much. Just 33 for 32. Rejected. Why has every trade gone through except for 33 for 32? What? Did I press it wrong? No way. I'll try one more time. What could I add? Chiefs, Eagles, 33, 32. What, like 161? What? No, this is perfect. This is how I want this round to end. The Eagles trading up for pick 32 after trading back. It just feels right. It just feels right, but I can't make it happen. Oh, yes, I can. I got it to happen. And they get the center. Graham Barton. I'm going to go with Graham Barton. To replace Jason Kelsey. So there we go. Mock draft 4.0 from Wake and Take. Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr., no trades yet. Then the Broncos trade up to number 6 to get J.J. McCarthy. Joe Alt. Then the Jets trade up to pick 8 to get Brock Bowers. The Bears take Dallas Turner. The Falcons get Laiatu Latu. The Vikings get Quinyon Mitchell. The Giants, after trading back, get Roma Dunze. The Raiders get Fashanu. The Saints get Fatanu. The Colts get Brian Thomas. The Seahawks get Michael Penix. The Jaguars get Terrion Arnold. The Vikings trade up from 23 to get Bo Nix. Jared Verse goes to the Rams. Amarius Mims to the Steelers. Fuaga to the Dolphins. Xavier Worthy to the Panthers. They'll trade up from pick 33. Byron Murphy to the Bengals. Adonai Mitchell to the Cowboys. Nate Wiggins to the Packers. Chop Robinson to the Bucks. Johnny Newton to the Cardinals. Cooper DeJean to the Bills. Kool-Aid to the Lions. J.C. Latham to the Giants. Tyler Guyton to the Niners. And Graham Barton to the Eagles. Cool. All right. I guess Talking Sunday is right. They already have Juergens, but I don't know if Juergens is truly enough. We'll find out, right? We'll find out. But I like it. I think that's a fun way to end this draft. Lots of trades in this one. So cool. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I don't see any questions, actually. So cool. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This was another fun episode of Wake and Take, and you guys were a great audience as always. I hope to see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern for some more Wake and Take on the Player Profiler YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you cannot tune in live, then make sure you stay tuned for the Wake and Take podcast as well, available wherever you listen to podcasts. The link for the podcast is in the description, so go check that out. Thanks again, everyone. You have a magnificent Monday and a wonderful rest of the week. The draft is here!
Hey, I want to take a moment to thank you for tuning in. It's important to me that all of our media be free. This is only possible because of you allowing a true independent sports media enterprise to thrive unlike any other in the business. So please subscribe to the All In Package to continue to make all of this possible, to ensure that all of our stats, information, data, content is available to you, especially you, the people that get the site and get the show.